Can you add brake fluid without bleeding the brakes? The curiosity around this topic is universal. Imagine hardworking brakes trying to cooperate with low fluid. A decent analogy for it might be trying to bake a cake with no flour. It's ambitious, but you won't get far without that essential ingredient. And adding brake fluid without bleeding seems straightforward, right? Pop the hood, unscrew the cap, and pour, and it's sweetly uncomplicated until it's not. Trapped air inside the system can create roadblocks, like a sudden forceful brake that jolts you like a roller coaster ride. It's unsettling, and when you top off brake fluid without bleeding, you run the risk of disregarding these pesky air bubbles that wreak havoc. They can be hermits nesting comfortably in your brakes unless given an eviction notice through bleeding. Even tiny air bubble can make brakes feel spongy and unreliable. Air infiltration happens for several reasons, usually the result of a leaky system. A tiny crack or worn out brake line can invite air that relishes causing unpredictable braking behavior. Keeping it at bay means maintaining sharp eyes and diligent system checks. Let's say you still feel adventurous about topping off without bleeding. Here's a realistic scenario. You'll pour the fluid in and trust the brakes to compensate. They might temporarily, and until one day they go soft mid-commute in Portland traffic. Not ideal. Numerically, it's vital to know that a brake system typically functions at pressures exceeding 1,000 psi. And skipping bleeding potentially means dropping these effective pressures, making your brakes the equivalent of an indecisive puppy on a sidewalk, not what you want in a 2,000-pound vehicle. So let's examine the steps to the proper approach. Number one, halting at a safe location and checking the master cylinder's fluid level regularly. A precise gauge stick ensures the exactness you need, just like measuring ingredients for a good cup of Portland artisanal coffee. Next, inspecting the brake lines and hoses for wear and potential leaks. This often neglected component is critical as it silently assures fluid's flawless passage. They should be as spotless and tight as your pre-dawn shoelace knot without fail. The act of bleeding involves pressing the brake pedal while loosening bleeder screws, allowing any trapped air to escape. Strategically schedule this with a helping hand. Two people make light work of the stress. Plus, it adds a social aspect to an otherwise solo endurance. A common pain point among car owners is a missed step, forgetting to keep the reservoir capped snugly, causing moisture intrusion and subsequent air generation. And think about it like leaving your window open during Portland's rainy season. Unintended yet impactful consequences. So, pro tip, always use high quality manufacturer recommended brake fluid. Skimping on quality here is akin to buying off-brand batteries. They drain faster and can't keep up with life's demands. Invest now, save brake failure headaches later. Final impressions matter, and brakes are no exception. Once completed, take the car out for a gentle test drive. Listen, feel, and most importantly, trust that your brakes will perform as they should in full Portland rush hour chaos. They're your guardian, silent yet strong.